Hey there, Chris Wheatley from Hot Tub University, and today I'm standing in a factory in rural Pennsylvania called PDC Spas. And I'll tell you what, I had a conversation with the owner Dave yesterday. We walked through his factory, and man, I have never been to a place or talked to a man that knows so much about hot tubs and about the industry. This guy has been doing hot tubs since sometime in the 70s. I thought I was the oldest guy in the world that'd been doing hot tubs, and Dave outranks me by at least a decade. Now, we had a great conversation about some stuff, and you know, I gotta say, the one thing I was absolutely thrilled with was his passion for making hot tubs. And it extends right through his factory. Everybody here knows him by a first name basis, and he laughs and he jokes with all his staff. And it really feels like a family in here. And I know that might not be important to you, but it's important to me because when you've got a family, when you've got committed people that have been here for 30 years, and so many people I talked to yesterday were like, I've been here 27 years, I've been here 32 years. These guys are doing it right. And I've seen very few manufacturers building to the standard that these guys are building to. So let's have a look at it. Now, Dave's asked me to keep some of his secrets tucked into the closet there. So some of the stuff I'm not going to be able to show you, but some of the stuff I am. So let's have a look and let's see what these guys are doing. So first of all, we got over here is the swim spas that he's making. And the first thing you're going to notice is the support structure that he's putting around these swimmers. Now, this is something that you don't see. And the reason why is it's expensive. You look at those uprights there, those aren't cheap pieces of timber. Those are laminated beams, basically the kind of structural stuff you'd use for an RSJ in a house if you're replacing a load-bearing wall. And they're cut by a computer, so everything's extremely accurate. Now, the reason he's doing this is because he is building a flat-walled swim spa. So when we look inside of one of Dave's swim spas, what we're going to see is that there's no curves. It's just a straight wall. If we put an arc into the side of a tub, it's just like an arch. I mean, it's the oldest technology in the world. It's how we built bridges way back in the day and how we built cathedrals way back in the day. It spreads the load out. So we can go way thinner on the shell. We don't have to build any kind of super robust structure if we're going to do a curved shell on the side of a swim spa. But man, if we're doing a straight wall, which by the way is going to give you a linear flow on your water and is also going to give you way more usable space, that's the kind of craziness you have to start doing. And man, I've never seen anybody build a shell as heavy, as strong, as well designed as these guys' shells are built. And you know, I've been in like 15 or 20 factories this year alone. These guys are building one of the best shells in the industry that I've seen. And of course, it's a vinyl ester resin core, and it's hand rolled. And not only is it hand rolled chopped glass, but they also use the roving, which is the matte fiber, for extra strength on the base of the tubs and on some of the high strength areas. And again, all hand rolled. So phenomenal. Now let's have a look at the rolling room, see what they're doing in here. So what they're doing right now is they're using chopped fiberglass, and he's going to spray it all over. This is the second coat. So he's done a primary coat here this morning. They've allowed that to dry. Now he's putting a secondary coat on. When he's finished spraying this tub, they're basically going to come and they'll roll this. So what they're going to do now is roll that glass into place. And what that's going to do is ensure that they don't have any air pockets and ensure that they've got a nice clean bond on that. Now, once they're done that, they're going to add the roving, which is the mat on the bottom of it. And again, they're going to roll that in. So a hand-rolled shell like this is the way to build the best shell in the world. Now, you notice when we're in the other room, they do also put supports under it. But I can tell you from seeing this firsthand, those supports aren't put under it because they're needed for structure. They're put under it just so that the frame lines up better on the tub itself. And this is all automated. So what they've done is they've mapped out the different shells that they have. And once they got that in place, the machine just does its thing. So now we're coming into this area, and what they're doing here is they're cutting the top holes, and they're just cleaning everything up. So they're getting the shell ready for plumbing, and then installing the jets and fittings. As it moves down the line, and this is all pretty standard stuff. If you go to a factory, this is how they make a hot tub. So over here, what they're doing is they're prefabricating these manifold systems. So what they do is they have all these pipes pre-cut, onto a manifold, and they've got the type of tub where the position of the manifold is. What this does for you is it gives you consistency. A lot of factories I walk into, there's a guy with a roll of hose literally sticking it on, cutting it, measuring it. Every hot tub's different, and that's where you run into problems. When you've got a good consistent system like this where you're prefabricating all of your lines, every tub's identical. So the manifolds are sitting down on the ground, so we're not getting a lot of vibration, and that's going to reduce trouble that you get on the joint points during the, down the road. And again, as you can see, glued, clamped, all the stuff we want to see on a hot tub. Now the frame itself is a very simple wooden frame. They use a Mylar bottom on it. You know what I think about Mylar. That's where me and Dave had our fight yesterday. They're also putting a super high density foam under there. So there's about an inch of really high density foam, giving them about an R12. With the reflective barrier in a horizontal position like this, they're probably getting another R5. So their base of their tub is insulated somewhere around an R17, R15, something like that. So again, not bad. Again, not my preferred method. I do like to see a full foam insulation. But the reality is, loads of you guys are buying tubs that are way less insulated than these are. Now, these folks reached out to us when we did our challenge to manufacturers to build us a good hot tub. And you know, I spent all day yesterday with the owner, Dave, and we went through piles of stuff and how you're building tubs. And we had a couple of fights because we don't agree on everything. But you know, we did agree on some things. And the main things were the fundamentals. These guys are building phenomenal hot tubs. I've never seen anybody build such a good quality shell in my life. These guys go over and above on their shell construction. They're using Balbo electronic control and heating systems. They're gluing and clamping their joints. They're a small operation, but man, they care, and they're building super good quality control. Nothing's going out of this factory that's failing in the field because they are just all over what they're doing. So I'm back here today. We're having some conversations. We're going to see what we can do with these folks because you know what? The only thing I don't like about them is their insulation system, and me and Dave came to blows over it almost yesterday. I'll get you on this one, Dave. Truth is, we don't agree, and he's doing a Mylar insulation. But you know what? There's a lot of tubs being sold in the U.S. marketplace that are using the exact same insulation system. And this guy's doing it as good or better than any of those guys are. He's using a good heavy foam board under the base of the tub. He's using a foam board on the inside of the skirts. And again, it's not my preferred method, but anybody in the lower 48 or not in a northern U.S. state or Canada, it's almost a non-issue for this stuff because the insulation becomes very less important the warmer our climate gets. And again, lots of you guys buying this kind of insulation system all over the place. So we're going to figure out a way to work with these folks because what they're doing is just phenomenal. They've got a couple little things here and there, but man, I'm pretty sure we can find some common ground with this guy. So anyways, Chris Wheatley, Hot Tub University, have a great day.